The most recent update came with some changes to friendship. We had the expansion for levels 11 through 15, but also they changed the way that you gain friendship. It's a lot easier to get friendship on your characters now. So let's talk about all of the changes and also the best ways to friendship farm for all of your characters. So first things first, if you go to your characters, of course you'll notice that there are more friendship levels now. You have all the way from 1 through 15. The new levels, you get some catalysts, and everybody will have 10 Leifs total at level 12 and 14. Old characters get 3 more skill points at level 15, while newer characters, which is right now just Salome and Estelle, that will have more characters later, get a static illustration at rank 15. These Leifs are super nice because friendship farming is essentially a zero-cost activity. When you're doing it properly, it doesn't actually cost you anything to friendship farm because you just do it while you're doing other things that you would already be doing, like hunts, breach, rift, episode, or eulogy. PvE content these days typically does not require a full 4 characters, so there's a lot of room for you to put characters in and get a bunch of friendship on them, especially with the changes that have been made. So let's take a look at the total amount of friendship required. This is how much EXP you need to hit each level, and this is just adding it all up together. So before our cap was 10, it was 1500 EXP, now it's 4500. But it's not like as big of a jump as it seems, because the way that friendship worked before was one battle in any content that gave you friendship would give you 1 friendship point. And if you had the friendship artifact, which there's 4 right now, there's no way to acquire them unfortunately, but if you had it, it would give you 2 for the content that it applied to. So this was bare minimum 750 battles, let's say like 750 hunt runs or something. It's a lot. Now it's 4,500, so 3 times the amount, but they added more ways to get friendship because the friendship that you get is no longer just 1. It scales based on how much energy you've used. Every 8 energy gives you 1 friendship. So Eulogy of a Saint, which costs 8 energy to do the run, gives you 1. If you have the artifact, it gives you 2. Spirit Altar Easy is 9 energy, I think, so it's also 1. Goes up to 18, rounds down, so it goes to 16, which is 2. Now, Spirit Altar Hell is 12 energy, so it rounds down to 8, right? But then if you have the artifact, it actually doubles the energy count, and then checks how much friendship you should have gotten. So 12 would double to 24, and then it goes to 3. Same thing applies to Episode and Hunt. 20 energy costs, you would only get 2 normally. Then the artifact would double it to 40, and then you would get 5. The place where you really notice a difference is Otherworldly Hunt, because Otherworldly is 160 energy per spectral core, so you get 20 friendship per run that you do, or 40 if you have the artifact. This ends up costing you a lot less to get these things done. Like, let's just quickly take a look here. Like, let's just say this divided by, we're getting 40 per run, right? So it's 112 otherworldly runs, which is still a lot, but this is a lot less than doing, say, the old method of, what is this, 2,250 runs. This is still a lot of Leifs, because this is going to be like, what, times 2? It's like 225 Leifs. It's still quite a bit, but a lot less than what it used to be. So you're definitely going to want to be friendship farming on some of these things, especially if you have the artifacts. Now also, Abyss for new stages, so like you'd have to consume the energy, also Arena and Guild War, all give you 1 friendship. RTA, if you win the match, you get 3. If you lose, you get nothing. And then artifacts, of course, don't apply to those places. The artifacts only apply here. One more thing is, so I don't know if this got permanently removed or if it's just being delayed, but there was a thing where they were supposed to make it so that during Hero's Banner for the 3 weeks, they would get an extra 1.2 times energy, and like, they said that they excluded it. Is this just not going to be a thing, or is it delayed? I don't know. Either way, I put it here. The only place you'll really see a significant difference is in Rift and Otherworldly, because it rounds down, right? So it'd have to be a big enough number, at least 5, for you to actually see a real value. And then also, if you have the artifact, you get an extra 1 for doing Episode or Hell Hunt, because you hit 5 with the artifact. So it's not like that big of a difference. We can do the thing again. This was divided by 40, then we can divide this by 48. Saves you like 20, 19 runs. So it does still like add up, especially given that you can get this, like, we have so many buff events these days, you're going to have a buff event while the character's banner is here. So it's, yeah, you'll definitely be able to get pretty good use out of this, assuming they add it. Like I said, I don't know what's happening with this. Also, for gifts, to anybody who just isn't familiar, we have the old gifts, and we also added new gifts. These gifts, these ones are the, I just call them greater gifts because they're purple. Yeah. So these gifts versus the smaller ones, it gives you double if it's on element. It's 30 for the lesser ones, 100 for the greater ones. So pretty good way to get a bunch of friendship on your characters. This was previously really the only way to instantly get a bunch of friendship. Now the best method is just, you know, friendship farm them. You get so much friendship for friendship farming. So now let's talk a bit about just friendship farming in general. Like I said, PvE content, you don't really need that much stuff these days. Like for episode, you can just 2-man it. Like, let's just say you have some characters where, because you get all these skill points, I haven't maxed my Ruel S1 yet, and I could technically save some Molas, because I could push for the healing here. It would cost me 2 Molas. It would cost me 5 Molas. I have 3 more skill points at friendship 15. It could end up only costing me 2, and I could save, you know, like, yeah, I would just save some Molas, basically. So any characters that don't need plus 15, you could friendship farm. You just take off all their gear, give them a, you can use the growth bonus here, quickly give them a friendship artifact, and then just do the run. Of course, I'm not going to give it to Estelle right now, but you get the idea. So you can 2-man run it, right? Like Straze, Watchashuri, there's a bunch of 3-man setups too. Hell Hunt, or Otherworldly Hunt, is the main place you're going to be friendship farming, I think. Every single hunt, you can either 2 or 3-man. This is Wyvern. So for Wyvern, it's, there's like these, there's the Ram, Straze setup, there's the Fern setup. There's going to be new setups soon too, but Golem, you can 2-man it. This is what I was farming earlier. It's just a Ram plus Straze. And then you can put in 2 people on friendship artifacts. Banshee, there's a bunch of different teams. Asmanic and Katie's, and I have videos for all of these. One more thing is you can friendship farm your actual one-shotters too. Like, I was doing Yoha Ross originally. That's why my Yoha is friendship 15, because I just gave her the friendship artifact too. You can also, like, swap comps. So Midnight Gall, Lilius, Genesis Ross also one-shots. And then you could also put in Straze here. Or put in Watchashuri, especially because Watchashuri isn't used on as many other teams compared to Straze, who just one-shots everything. You could run something like this. So that's one way to cycle through like your one-shotters and spread out your friendship even more. Otherworldly Breach also has a pretty similar thing, where the setup that I normally use is something more like this. It's Bunny Dong, Commander Lorena, Fireken, and a dual attacker. And the dual attacker slot is super flexible because you want any character that instantly dual attacks. So usually, like, most people are using Archdemon Shadow, but something like Salome also works if you just turn her skills off. Salome works fine. Because this is 100% one-shot, because Ken ignores F-Res, you can run ML Diane here, and she will work because her S1 turn 1 dual attack, because she has immortality, like, that's also a thing. And then other moving pieces, something like swapping out Beedong for Conqueror Lilius, or you could swap the comp entirely, which is what you saw at the start, where you do something like this. You give attack buff for your Camilla, and you have 2 Deathbreakers, and you probably don't want ML Diane because her duel is only 1 turn, and then you do something like this. So yeah, just a lot of ways for you to move around units on your team comps and get your one-shots going. And then one more thing is, if you aren't too concerned about time, certain characters can like solo hunt. The most notable one is Banshee. You can kind of just toss in Frieren by herself, and she will solo it, so you can friendship farm 3 slots. This is very, very slow, but if you have infinite time and you want the friendship that badly, you can do it. And similar thing for the current rift, we'll see. Usually, like, all the rifts have a solo method, or at worst, duo method. There's the Frieren solo team, which when I do rifts, these are the 3 units I'm friendship farming right now. Or there's the Wukong setup that I've shown too, where you do Wukong, Christie, and then you just 2-man it like this. So yeah, this is just a bunch of different ways you can friendship farm, and the changes are really, really nice. It was previously just really, really hard to get friendship on characters. You'll notice I have a lot of characters friendship 10. This took forever, like, it took so long. This will be a lot faster now to get friendship on your characters, and hopefully they make the friendship artifacts a bit more accessible to people.